Hello and welcome to Talkin Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. A scoop and score by LSU junior Danielle Hunter was about the only defensive highlight for the now 17th ranked Tigers on Saturday. So here again is LSU columnist Ron Higgins. Well, Ron, I did pick LSU to win on Saturday, but I wasn't surprised, though, that Mississippi State came out firing and the Tigers' defense was really exposed. They gave up 34 points and 570 yards. I mean, they had shut down their past two opponents, but I mean, SEC play just was too much for them in game one.
They got physically whipped. I mean, just physically manhandled, and you don't see that very often with LSU teams. But State ran right at them, ran right over them. State had a pretty good game plan, but besides, their spread option, and they have a great quarterback in Dak Prescott who runs that as good as anybody. I mean, they had a really an attack that really had their big blockers hit a lot of LSU's defensive backs, and it was like big on small the way they set their plays up, and that really benefited State. And besides that, just the fact that last year LSU stopped Johnny Manziel, and the year before, and he ran almost the same type offense. So it was puzzling that Dak Prescott was much better than Johnny Manziel against this defense, but he was.
Right, and I mean, Dak Prescott, he not only did he have a great day throwing the ball, but he used possibly his best weapon in running the ball. I mean, did you expect him to really just have his way with LSU like that?
I thought that he would play well against LSU, but I thought it would be more of him rather than the help he had. I mean, he had the running back from Louisiana. I mean, Josh Robinson had almost 200 yards, running the ball.
Right, and he was one of those guys that maybe wasn't as talked about as much. But I mean, obviously, coming from Louisiana too, maybe he had a little motivation.
And it has to do with the State's offensive line, which actually just pancaked LSU's defensive line.
Right, they really won the battle in the trenches, and LSU with a lot to clean up. They have New Mexico State coming up this weekend, but then hitting the road back-to-back, Auburn and Florida. Well, Ron, thanks for the insight. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Rachel.
And join us Wednesday for another trip behind enemy lines. See you then.